Supermen is the sequel to last year's DC animated movie, The Death of Superman. Part 2 of that, and Reign of the Supermen, is about the aftermath of Superman's death from the death of Superman, in which he died at the hands of Doomsday, and now all of these superpowered beings come to claim that they're Superman, while there's a bigger threat out there that Lois Lane, some of these superpowered beings, have to solve before everything goes to shit in the Earth. Now, I really enjoyed The Death of Superman. I felt it was kind of slow-paced, and I really wanted more of the Doomsday versus Superman storyline, and it kind of took a while to build up to that, but I understand that it's all kind of build up at the same time. I didn't hate that movie. I really enjoyed it, and I really did enjoy Reign of the Supermen. I think that this was a smart idea to split this into two, because I guess the original Superman Doomsday movie tried to combine everything from the Death of Superman comic storyline into one movie, and I guess it didn't really work. I don't really know how that movie started, if that started with Superman actually fighting Doomsday, because that was the last third of the Death of Superman movie that came out last year. And I feel like that splitting it into two is the right way to go. And my favorite parts of this movie involve Steel, which I thought he was great. I thought he was the best part of the movie, and Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, as always, is the greatest part of any Superman story. I still think Michael Rosenbaum is the best Lex Luthor ever put on screen, no doubt about it. Don't at me. But I mean, for a cartoon version of Lex Luthor, this kind of felt like an animated Batman movie, but you just take out Batman and you put Superman in the role. But that's what I kind of liked about it, because it reminded me of those old school animated Batman movies, but focused more on the Superman characters and Superman lore, and that was really exciting, and I really loved the story in this one. It's a lot more fast-paced, there's a lot more action sequences in this, but the story behind everything, that's what's kind of made it feel like one of those animated Batman movies. But you just take out Batman, you put Superman in this role, and that's what really kind of engrossed me into this movie. That's how I felt, at least. I don't think anybody else is going to feel like that. Nobody's going to compare this to any of the other Batman animated movies. Only me. Only I would draw that comparison. But when I'm looking at it, the way it's plotted, the way it's written, I was like, this is definitely an old school animated Batman film, and I'm digging it. It's just, you take out Batman, you replace Batman with Superman. That was awesome, and I really loved the story behind this, the way the story sets itself up, the way the narrative unfolds, and that was really something to behold. It was really something that I didn't really expect, and it also kind of leads me to an issue with this movie, is that this movie sets up one main antagonist, and then it kind of discards that, and it's like, nope, this is really the main antagonist. And as good as the villain was in this movie, that's what a lot of movies seem to be doing a lot of lately, is just setting up one villain to be the main antagonist, and then they do this complete bait and switch where it's like, nope, this is actually the main villain. One of my biggest issues with this film. My big issue with this movie, however, spoiler alert, so skip ahead to probably maybe 2 minutes of this video. 2 minutes ahead in this review, because I'm going to be talking about spoilers here. Yeah, Superman comes back from the dead. We find out that the main villain is actually Cyborg Superman, Henry Henshaw, and he's trying to get revenge on Superman because he feels like he's responsible for the death of his wife, Terry Henshaw. So Cyborg Superman is actually the main villain instead of the Eradicator. And the way Superman defeats Cyborg Superman is that Superman kills him. Superman killing is something I have a problem with. It is something that a lot of people have had a problem with this movie with. My only issue with this is, why didn't people have a problem with this in the actual Man of Steel movie, the live-action one from 2013? That was a reboot of the actual Superman series. Nobody had a problem with Superman killing Zod in that movie, let alone cause billions of dollars of property damage in that movie. I despise the third act of that movie. Yet, they seem to have a problem with Superman killing Cyborg Superman in this. It doesn't really make sense. Superman doesn't kill at all. At least that's how I know Superman. So why is there such a problem here, but not a problem with Man of Steel? Where Man of Steel, it made it look like he had a choice. And I'll give Reign of the Superman credit, because it makes it look like Superman really doesn't have a choice. even though he probably does. Whereas in Man of Steel, he could have easily just put his hands over Zod's eyes and been like, no, I'm going to fly you up somewhere and take this fight to an isolated place where nobody else is going to get hurt. So that's my biggest issue with this movie, is the fact that Superman actually kills somebody when he comes back from the dead. I thought that this was a more action-packed Superman animated movie. It's more action-packed than The Death of Superman. And that's something I really appreciated. It made the pacing of the movie go by a lot faster. I felt that the pacing of The Death of Superman was a bit slow at times. Didn't have as much energy as this one. There were some action sequences in here where I'm like, that is friggin' cool. And I'm pretty sure this is how it plays out in the comics, and I really, really want to read the comic book after watching these two movies. I didn't watch these back-to-back. I saw The Death of Superman last year, Reign of the Superman today, but I do remember The Death of Superman a lot, and I love that storyline. I love the fact that he fights Doomsday, and even Doomsday as a cartoon looks better than Doomsday in BVS. So I was really excited to see where the sequel would go, the second half of the story, and it takes some unexpected directions, more action-oriented, and I love how the narrative really focuses around Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, Steel, and Superboy. Overall, it's not a perfect animated DC movie. The fact that Superman actually does what he does in the third act really bothers me. I'm going to give Reign of the Supermen a B. I think that's what we can expect from these DC animated movies now, is a B. Guys, thank you for watching my review of Reign of the Supermen, sequel to The Death of Superman. That is very tongue-tying. Check out some more reviews coming soon. I will post my link to my website in the description below. There you can subscribe, and you can find all my links to my social media accounts. You can also subscribe at the end of this video. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the movies. Somewhere. Yes, I feel like I have a new catchphrase at the end of every video, but I think I'm sticking to this one. So I'll catch you at the movies. Somewhere.